What is up, party people? This is going to be an important one, so stay tuned for this one. This is the ultimate gearing guide for PvP in Season 1, which starts tomorrow, as of today, recording this video. And there is so much information. I'm sure a lot of people don't know all of this, so stay tuned. I'll have timestamps down below to different sections, but let's get right into it. So I'm going to try to explain the best I can. I hope I didn't miss anything. I used my stream to help out, and I actually saw someone was some guy posted. I'll give him credit where credit's due. This guy named Greg made the whole Conquest guide thing. So I'm gonna use this as a template, but there's actually more than this that you can actually use to gear. All right, so just follow along with me. All right. So first up here, we're talking about PvP gear. All right, so PvP gear itself. Obviously you're going to gain conquest points, and the conquest points you're going to gain, you're going to go to the conquest vendor and you're going to buy your gear. Okay, I made a video previously on crafted gear, but this is talking about the stuff outside of just earning conquest gear. Okay, so 1600 the first week you're going to get, and then every week after that you're going to get 600 conquests. Okay, so that's how much you're going to get. So you can get 1600 worth the first week, so you can buy like a piece that you want to convert to tier, and then you can buy some other stuff and blah blah blah. Okay, the second thing, free weapon week 3. So what when the season starts, you're going to get a quest. I imagine it's going to be the guy out here. That's where all these PvP weekly quests are. This dwarf looking dude out here, Ruffius, I think. He's going to give you a quest that says after you earn 2,500 conquests, you will get a free weapon set. So that counts. I assume that means either a two-hander or two one-handers, or a one-hander or an off-hander. Okay, so you can choose to whatever you'd like on that. That is going to be on week 3. So you will get a total of 2,500 conquests on week 3. So that's when you're going to get your weapon. Okay, moving on to the next thing here. Your first strong box will give you a quest for 9 free conquest heraldries. So that is these things down here. Okay, so you're gonna get 9 of these heraldries. 4 of these heraldries, you can use this to craft. Okay, strong boxes are just these things that you get from queuing. I held on to one so you can see. So you're gonna open this up. It's gonna give you a quest, and then you're gonna get a quest for those heraldries, which you can use to craft conquest gear. All right. Crafting gear it costs 5 for a 875. This is equivalent to the conquest value. So 5 heraldries for an 875 piece, 4 heraldries for a 700 piece, 3 for a 525. So what that means is you can get potentially 3 pieces of conquest gear straight off the bat from just crafted. And that is awesome for me specifically, because as a druid, I really like having haste mastery rings, which you can't get with conquest. So straight off the bat, I can craft double rings and get haste mastery, which is freaking awesome. All right, so that is so you're gonna get 9 total of these. That is so much. We're getting so much free gear. We're probably gonna be full geared. Okay, let me continue. Anyway, okay, at 1600, you will get a Mark of Mastery free tier piece. All right, so this is if you get 1600 in any bracket, you're going to get a token that you can turn in. I don't know exactly where this is yet. I apologize, but there is I'm sure you can just be able to Google by the time you actually get it. Somebody will know. And you turn this in for a free piece of tier. Make sure to use this. Oops, jeez. Make sure to use this on an expensive piece of gear. So for me personally, look at your tier. So if I hit Shift J, it pulls this up, and you go to your item sets, your travel jog, and then go there. Look at the stats on all of these. I mean, obviously the vendor, you can look at them too, but so for Wrestle Druid specifically, you want to look at the stats. I want haste, mastery, and verse. I don't want crit. The one piece that has the most crit is the head, so I'm not going to get the head. So I'm looking at these pieces. Out of these, which one is the most desirable stats for me and is the biggest piece? The most expensive pieces are the head, the chest, and the legs. So I'm going to go for the chest myself. That's what I'll be buying with my mark piece. So make sure to keep note of that. Catalyst charges. So this is going with the tier as well. You get a charge every other week. So week 1, you'll get your first charge, week 3 and week 5. So what that means is you'll have your 4 set at week 5 if you don't do any PV, which I will get into that in a second. So you will get your 2 set week 1 if you can manage to get 1600. All right. Hopefully we're holding on to that. The catalyst, let me just show you. This has got to be the complete guide. I got to show you it all. So the catalyst, if you don't already know, is right here. This is where the catalyst will be, and you will get your charges, and you just put the gear in there. All right. Moving on to the next thing here. We are unsure about how bloody token gear will work. So we don't know yet. We know we can get bloody tokens, but will there be equivalent to the... Jeez, I gotta stop doing that. Will there be something equivalent to the trophies in Dragonflight? So back in Dragonflight, you could get bloody tokens plus one of these like weekly trophies from doing the Spark quest, which is just do world PvP. And you can get an upgraded piece of gear, and I would assume, because it was slightly lower than the Conquest gear last expansion, I would assume that it's going to be 636 if that is the case. So yeah, I don't know if that not 100% on how that's working just yet. Well, I'm turning this music down just a smidge. Okay, so yeah, we're unsure how that works. We'll find that out probably on when the season starts. Okay, so now we're getting into some interesting stuff here. So the reason I made this video is because there is more to gearing. Because PvE and PvP were separated, now we can get sparks to craft PvE gear, as well as get the heraldries to craft PvP gear. All right, so stay with me on this. So this part is completely optional, and it is only worth it if you can complete +9s in Mythic Plus or higher. All right, again, this is, you don't feel forced to do this, but because the gear is split, you could gear tremendously fast if you can manage to get these things. If you can get +9s completed, if you can work up to them, then this is worth your time. All right, again, optional. Don't get mad at me, I didn't make the game. So let's go on to, let's just a quick recap on how Sparks works. If you do PvE, this is something to, you know, to know as well. You get half a spark a week from doing weekly activities from the meta quest. So the meta quest, if you didn't do already this week, they're super easy. It's at this table here, and there's a guy that you choose. You can choose which option of quest you want to do, and then that one will decide on what activity you have to do. For me, I picked the world quest one. I had to do 6 world quests. That's it. That's so easy. That's even easier than the PvP quest. But people said that the PvP quest should give you it as well. So like the PvP weekly skirm quest, or the arena one, or the battleground, whatever one it is for that week, if you do that, that should work as well to give you the half a spark, just like it was in Dragonflight. All right, free half spark from the quest, the catalyst. So that guy next to the catalyst down there, is he gonna pop up? So if you go to him, he's gonna ask you. I actually didn't do the quest because I actually crafted a piece before I even did that quest. Oh, it's a meta quest too here. Okay, I guess anything with that logo on it. Oh, okay, so that's good to know. Anything with that icon will be a meta quest. But you go to that guy with a half a spark, and it gives you a full spark. So at the end of week 1 of the season tomorrow, you should have a total of 2 sparks after you do the activities of that week. Okay, so 2 sparks means 2 pieces of crafted gear already. I actually already crafted one. I was just experimenting with something. It doesn't have good eye level yet, but it has the stats that I want, and it has a little effect. Most of these effects are nerfed in PvP, but it doesn't matter. It's free effect, and you're getting the optimal stats on the gear you want, as long as you can upgrade it to a reasonable eye level, aka Mythic +9s or higher. Okay, do Mythic Plus to upgrade these pieces. Like I said, you can do, if a piece has a desirable stat or a desirable effect, you can craft it to like 620 or 619, I think. You can craft a 619 with +5s, I think, 5 to 9, I think it is, something like that. So if there is a piece, and you can do this by just going on the crafting order hall. Again, this is optional. Don't feel forced to do this, okay? What I did is I just went here, I went to armor, I went to leather, and then I hit search, and these are all the gear that you could get. So like there's some pieces here, like there's a 2-set thing here, which actually doesn't seem bad. Unfortunately, actually no, it'll take over a tier set, so for me actually that wouldn't work. But like if I get the wrist, which is verse mastery, and the hands, which is haste mastery, I get a little stat bonus or a 2-set piece that gives you haste. This is nerfed by 50% in PvP, but it's still 1000 haste proc. You know, so if you go look at all your things, you can actually check the effects on all of these. All right, so that's good to know. On that same note, there may be Mythic Plus gear that's upgradable too, but again, that is kind of like sweating it really hard. But this is just an option for y'all if you do PvE as well. This is great if you do both forms of content. You certainly don't have to do these. Okay, moving on here. This is only worth it if you can get the +9s, which will craft to 636 gear. Again, you will possibly replace these gear later on with 639 Conquest gear. But early season, if you can manage these, there will be people that will get +9s in the first week, the hot top end Mythic Pluses. But maybe like week 2, 3, you can actually manage to get these done. And if we are not full geared, this is something that you could actually do to help out yourself with some gear. And again, there's some of the gear has effects on it that might be better than PvP gear. I know people don't want to hear that. Okay, this one I do want to talk about because this is important. This is vault tier, okay? So some specs have really good tier sets. And if you do want to min-max your tier, like I talked about here, it won't be till week 5 until you can get your 4 set if you only PvP. So your vault, completing the vault will give you a chance of getting your 4 set earlier than week 5, which is how long in PvP, okay? So the new vault, so again, PvP gear is no longer in your vault. This is what the new vault looks like. You have raids, dungeons, and world, which is delves, okay? Or world activities. I don't know what that classifies as. Maybe that means meta quest or something. Whatever this is, but delves are probably the. And I think I made note on the notepad that I believe delves are actually made. Okay, I assume delves are going to be the easiest ones for PvPers because you could just do those solo without anybody, and they're kind of fun to do. So that's just something that you can do on the side. It may be a lower eye level, but if it's a really good tier set, it can be worth it again. So if you complete you can try to max this out. Like if you want to do some of the raids, you can do some of the easy raids, just do maybe 2 bosses. Or if you like raiding, do the whole freaking raid. I don't know. You can do dungeons. So at least doing 1 dungeon will give you a chance. You can do at least 3 delves. Like if you want to just, do minimal effort, you can do 2 bosses of the raid, leave the group. You can do this. You can do, do as much as little as you want. But the more you do will give you a more chances at getting a tier piece. Typically, this piece is upgradable as well. It should be. And you can upgrade that using a PvE crests. Again, the item level will most likely be lower than you like. But if you have a good enough tier set, it could be worth it. So like, again, you can see your tier set down here if you go to the item sets. So like for Wrestle Druid, you're healing this. Again, these are 50% nerfed in PvP. Don't forget that. I'm getting 4% total healing increase every time I consume Soul of the Forest, and for 6 seconds afterwards. That's a pretty dang good tier. For me personally, I think I'm going to try to do some Mythic Plus. I personally don't want to do a lot of alts. I really love in Druid right now. So I might just min-max one character and then kind of just like lazy cap the other ones. But yeah, so that kind of covers all of the possible avenues to gear in this season that I know of. I hopefully so just to like kind of recap on this, so you're getting 1600 gear Conquest, which could be enough for usually 2 pieces of gear, potentially 3 if you want to get the small pieces. You can get, so let's just say you buy 2 pieces. The first strong box will give you free 9, which you could potentially get 3 pieces. You could have 5 pieces. You can get 1600. You can get 6 pieces. Potentially there's a bloody token quest that could be 7 pieces, and then if you PvE and get a spark and get a +9, you could actually get 9, or yeah, counting my fingers here, 9 pieces of gear. Wait, is that even it? Hold on. Yeah, you could potentially get 9 pieces of gear in the first week. This is if you're a Mythic Plus fucking legend, which is most likely none of us, but that is absolutely insane. There's 14 total piece slots. So we could be full geared we're probably going to be full geared by week 3-4, I want to guess. So again, if you are not getting Mythic Plus +9s within the first couple weeks, don't bother with this, okay? Just save yourself the pain of doing that. But I think the vault could be something worth your time in terms of just getting that tier set earlier than most people will. All right, so that is all I got. Hopefully this helps you out, give you some information. If I did miss anything, please let me know down below. There's so much going on, and if I did, there's very possible to miss something. So thank you all for watching. Make sure y'all like and sub, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.